Double here with another video. Today we're going to be doing some Planet Coaster coming back to the park with Summer Crest. And today we're going to be working on finishing up the entrance. Now this is not the last video on the entrance, there'll be another one out soon. But anyways, let's get into this. So, what we were doing right here is, what you saw off camera was me trying to do a bathroom. But I kind of forgot to press record. Oh, but that is not the end of our worries. But anyways, I'll get into that sooner or later. Right now, we're trying to think of some cool designs for the bathroom. I didn't just want it to be a flat top and that's it. I want there to be a little more of a design feature to it. So you'll see me multiple times trying to find roofs, trying to find the things that I want, and I never really come across what I truly want. But I do come across this, and I think this would actually look good. I kind of want to do a centerpiece at the top. So I use these two pieces, combine them, I line them up on each line like that, so it actually looks good at the ending. And you'll see what I mean by that, the way it lines up. But we're doing that on all sides, making sure everything's nice and clean there, and then we're gonna use a little lift instead. We're first thinking of doing a centerpiece by 4, and the 4 doesn't really look too good, so we decided to do the 2. And we lift up the 2 like that. We decided to do a little wall on there. There's an assignment due today. But we decided to do a like a wall on it, and you'll see that in a second. First, we're putting on the floor part, but here's the wall I was talking about. We're trying to line it up perfectly so it kind of does like that church kind of theme, which is kind of weird to have when you're doing a bathroom, but it's all about the architecture, right? You always want to make sure that the building looks nice. So you always add whatever feature you can to try to make it look as nice as it can. Now, this is what I'm doing right here. I'm just filling in all the blanks before I try to look for the roof that I want. Now, there are so many times that I was trying to look for a roof that would fit, and none of the roofs that I grabbed would work. So I ended up having to settle with the little metal tin that you're about to see in a second. Because I tried this one first, that doesn't work. Maybe I'll just do the 4 thing and lift it like that. Maybe that will work. And that doesn't work either, so I decided to just go with the one that they have, and the centerpiece, which is just a 1 height size, but I didn't feel like losing that tip on the top, so I kind of keep that, have a wavy design, and I still think it works really well. As you're about to see here, we're about to put it up, and like I said, it's gonna look really kind of weird, but it works, if that makes sense. It's a workable weird. But yeah, that's basically what we do with the bathrooms. So the design that I have for this is most amusement parks, right? Where it's just like the big wall, you have to go through the other side, and then it takes you through a door, and there's the restrooms. Now, the way I label these signs and stuff, the one that I first pick is so bad when I try to type stuff in, it just does not look good. So instead, I go for a different one. But yeah, you'll see this. This is the sign I originally picked, thinking it would look good to have the small font. And you're about to see in a second, it does not work. So I end up going with an old Western kind of style, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't really fit a theme. But you know, it's still kind of good. Plus, I don't really think I'm gonna make this a theme park. So if you don't know what I mean by that is, there's a difference between a theme park and an amusement park. The difference is an amusement park doesn't have a specific theme. It's a bunch of coasters with different themes mixed up all together. My best way to compare this is if you live where I'm around, Busch Gardens versus King's Dominion. Busch Gardens has 7 themes that it fits through all of Europe. King's Dominion doesn't have any theme except for local. So that's the difference between it. But anyways, I put up the signs here. I'm trying to get them all right, and then I label them. And the way to know which side is which, it's men to the left, because women are always right. That is a funny joke that I remember as a kid, and it also helps me remember the stuff in here. So that's how I know it. That's how I follow it. All right. Anyways, we're now trying to make a new the eating place, a nice eating plaza. So, you know, we could just go with the original box building and leave it at that, but you know what? I kind of wanted to test creativity skill and see what I could come across. So, I wanted to do a building that kind of has a different shape on almost every side. Something that can stand out, doesn't look like something you've already seen, but I didn't also want to make it like some sort of Pablo Picasso kind of messy. so I kind of had to work between it. So you can kind of see the building the building lineup going, and I leave a space open for there as I'm gonna be putting a staff room in there for the employees to go, and it also just kind of adds to the building as well. If you notice, I do not fill up that section right there, and that is because we're gonna be doing some like crazy angling and stuff with the roofs, kind of make stuff look nice. So of course we're putting stuff around here, kind of giving it its all own, but you can kind of see stuff already coming together. Now we go for the 2 meter pieces, and then we're going to be putting that up so like you can also see the design right here. It's kind of cool when you're looking at it while it's being built. It kind of works, which is why I like it. Now when we come up to the very top, this is where things kind of get a little strange, right? We decided to have 2 different heights on the roofs, right? So what you're seeing right here is the build up to it, and then instead of using that 2 piece, we use a 4 on one side, and we use a 1 on the other. And we have to then try to even it out so it kind of blends in on the other side. And I think the final product of it looks really, really good. I think it really works out. Yeah, you can already kind of see the building coming together. Now there were a few problems that I had was on the side. I thought that the one side was a little too bare, so I decided to add kind of like what would be like heading into a basement, right? So of course, make the thing for that. And I think that looks really good. It kind of adds to the building, gives it more of shape, gives it more than just that box barn kind of look. So I think that really works. I was thinking about changing the color on the wood, but I decided to keep it as the green actually really works well with the metal roof that it has, which I would be using a different roof, but the metal one actually really works with this painted wood style that we're doing. So I think that, I think I'm gonna keep that color for most of them. I am gonna change it up a little bit through, like when it comes to the rides and stuff. For the buildings, for the most part, I actually like the color that's already there. But as you can see, we're trying to look for some sort of like thing for it, right? Because I didn't want to use the metal thing on it, because when we put it down, it didn't look too well. So I wanted to find sort of a different roof. Spoiler alert, I don't find a different roof, and we actually end up still using it. So, and I won't lie, once you like add the stuff to it, it actually makes it look a lot nicer. But I actually, I use this fiberglass roof to put on the top, so it kind of keeps stuff clean. And man, does that look good in the final product. But we end up using this fiberglass roof, and we're putting it up there. Right now, you can kind of see how the building is kind of coming along, you know? It's really getting to where, you know, it's a comfortable spot to be at. And we're just trying to find ways to, like, really fill the building so it doesn't feel empty. Like, so it really feels like there's a purpose for this big structure. Because, of course, if you x-ray in, you're just going to see 2 little boxes in this big building. So we want to make there be a reason for the building to be this big in, like, real-life sense. So that's why we're adding all of this, you know, because this could be, like, all the back could be storage for stuff. And we'll even do a backstage section very soon, but not in this episode. But anyways, yeah, you can kind of see the roofs already coming along. This building looks really good right now. Like, just like, take a second and breathe in, man. But this is what I was talking about with the roof on the top, trying to blend stuff in. It looks kind of choppy at first, but it actually really does work if you look at it. Like, all right, so you're watching this come up, and then we go for the 2-piece, and we do 2 of the 2, and then we do 1 of the 1, and like once you put everything together, it really kind of looks nice. I'm not gonna say it's smooth on the top, but I don't know, there's just something about it that I really like. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of the roof style that we're doing. I also noticed that on the front of the building, it was kind of flat. There was really nothing on the front, and I thought, you know, what if I make like some sort of terrace, right? We put some sort of balcony over it, and so that's kind of what we do next. But first, we're gonna fill in the rooftop so it's not like just a bunch of holes in the roof. So that's the first thing that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be filling up all of that, and then afterwards, we're gonna be moving towards the front of the building, and we're gonna start constructing the front. Which, yeah, but this is also the part I was talking about before with the balcony. I decided to move it in 1 piece in, so it, like, I don't know, it just looks nicer when you do that, so that's why I did it. Afterwards, I noticed these little spikes that I saw earlier when trying to look for something for the side of the building, and I thought that would make a really good kind of like fence kind of thing. So we end up using that. The first time I put it in though, I didn't like how it looked before, and then when I sunk it in, I realized that it looks so much better like that. So instead I end up sinking it into that like brick style, and it really looks good. We also use a different type as well, so it makes that cool kind of lift up like that, which we end up using to the best of our extent. But yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing right here. I think that really works. Of course, then we put up a top part of it so it looks like it can support itself, because we don't really have anything below that can really hold the support. But yeah, that's kind of what the front looks like. I think this building looks phenomenal. But now it comes over to the path part. We gotta make in the path work. I'm gonna be making a little area where there's gonna be benches and stuff, and like places for someone to eat. And we only go for a simple and small kind of look, because we're not trying to do like a massive area. This is only it's like two food and drinks places, right? And it's one of each actually. But you really don't need that many people for it. So we're only getting the amount that we think is gonna be more comfortable. Then I end up lining up the paths there, so then there's a nice line area and it doesn't take up anywhere. Now, this is where I add in the staff room, because I was thinking at the time of what should I put in there, and I thought the staff room would be best. So we of course place in our staff room, and then we'd let that path kind of get right to it, right? Alright, this is kind of the fun part. We're trying to go and put in the picnics. So, I figured this out while I was putting him in, that you can change the colors. So I kind of use that when it comes to the umbrella part. So we end up having some different colors in here, which, you know, you learn stuff as you go, right? So we're putting in these. I don't want to put them like perfectly together. I want them all to be kind of in different angles and different spots. Kind of like it's hard to explain. It's like a neat messy, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what we're doing. We also want to still leave room for people to walk around. So we're only like putting them in certain spots. We're not trying to fill up every spot with them. Then we use these umbrellas. We use the advanced tool, and we move them down, and we try to fit them into the pole. Once I noticed that back when I was trying to get used to it, I put that in for all my stuff. But yeah, we do 3 umbrellas of different colors, and you'll see that. I was trying to think of what other color we could use once we figured it out. So I tried to go for a yellow, and I think the yellow really works, but the white wasn't working for it, so I changed the white to at first a black, and then I moved it to a pink, and like it looks really good. Like I'm actually really happy with the color. So yeah, we thought we placed it down the first time, and then we didn't, so then we put it down again, and then it works this time. But this is where I kind of have to stop it, because my phone dies, so you don't get to see much of anything else. So I'm sorry for the big black screen that you're seeing right now, but we're gonna move over to the live cam, and you can kind of see what the final product is. Alright, so I just want to show you a few things that we've been working on that was off camera, because funny enough, my phone did die, and I think I mentioned that earlier in there as well. But yeah, my phone ended up dying, so I did a little bit of extra stuff, as well as the stuff before I started recording. Let's get into the first part, right? So after the last episode, I tried to clean up the fountain a little more. And I got around to moving the ones that were out of the water and deleting them. I still have to push these down though. And yeah, so that's going to take us a little bit of time. But yeah, I also tried to fix this up a little bit. I'm still going to change this up and make it a little nicer than that. This is just all temporary. Alright, but let's get into the big stuff, right? Alright, over here, I decided to add some restrooms. And these restrooms, you know, I think they came out really well. I didn't really know how they would look, and now that I'm looking at it, it looks really good. So I actually kind of like that. And you can also see that we did some extra work when it comes to adding the windows and stuff over here. We tried to detail a little more around here. Some of this is already seen, but the tree line I think really helps, the fence line, and also all the signs. But yeah. You can thank my phone battery for not capturing that. I also, real quickly, moved the bathrooms on the other side so they're accessible on both sides. And by the time of our next video, we should be working on this area. And then afterwards, we're branching out and looking for our first ride. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before I let you go, just know I do have an Instagram and I do have a Discord. So make sure you go and check those out once you're done watching this entirely. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment what you want to see next or what you think I should do next. What do you want this to look like in the future? I will be doing a total walkthrough of the park when it is completely finished. So you guys will get to see riding the roller coasters and everything whenever I call finisher on this park. Alright, without further ado, this is Double O Roadkill signing off.